Before we get started, I have a couple of points that I would like to bring to your attention that will make your Tai Chi practice way easier on you. The first one is you always want to wear very loose clothing that does not restrict your movements. The main reason for this is in Tai Chi you want to be as relaxed as possible as you go through these motions. If you're wearing clothes that are restricting your movements, then you're going to have to build tension and tense up your muscles to push past that resistance of the clothing. And it also doesn't help you develop your flexibility because everything's staying so tight trying to get into these postures, fighting against that clothing, that it really works against what you're trying to accomplish and the relaxation that you're trying to achieve as you practice this form. So always wear loose clothing that allows you to relax. The next thing that I would like to point out is the kind of shoes that you wear is very important. If you want to do it barefoot, that's okay. Just be aware of what kind of ground you're on, what the dangers are. If you're outside, check the area for sticks, rocks, bugs, things that could get under your feet and make it a lot less fun for you to practice. I personally prefer wearing shoes as I practice, but the shoes that I wear are very thin-soled, very flexible, and they don't try to support my foot really. They're just there as kind of a barrier between my foot and the ground. And that way I can, practice in some areas that I wouldn't necessarily practice barefoot, but I also don't have the restrictions of sports shoes. If you try to wear sports shoes like running shoes or walking shoes as you do Tai Chi, the problems with that is the sole of the shoe is rather thick. So that brings your foot up away from the ground, and when you go to lean into a posture or bend your knees or do any kind of movement like that, that highness makes your ankle have to bend even more to get you into the posture that you need to be. It also brings your center of gravity up and makes you a little less stable. The other thing is the sides of the shoes a lot of times will be rigid to support the feet and the ankles. Well, in Tai Chi you want your ankles to be able to move around very freely. We're not moving quickly, we're not doing a lot of sudden movements. It's very smooth motions that are very safe for your joints. But if you have your ankles restricted, it makes it very difficult for your body to move like it's supposed to, and it makes your ankles move in weird ways that are a lot less comfortable than if they could move freely. So I would recommend any shoe that has maybe a canvas top to it that allows your foot to move freely or has very low sides and doesn't restrict the ankles movement, something that has a very flexible sole and a thin sole. Those are the things that you want for shoes. So loose clothing that you can move freely in, very easy to move in, thin-soled, flexible shoes. Beyond that, the other things that I would like to point out are really listen to your body. It's absolutely, absolutely important not to do any more than your body is willing to do. So as you do a movement, if it feels uncomfortable, bring it back, make it more shallow, stop, try it a different way. Don't go further than your body's willing to go. A lot of people get really gung-ho as they start doing Tai Chi, and that's great because it's good to be excited about what you're doing. But if you start to try to go into too low stances too fast and your knees aren't ready for it and your muscles aren't ready for it, there's a chance that there could be injury there. And we don't want to, bring injuries on ourselves while we're practicing because we're trying to promote health and promote well-being, not injure ourselves. So try not to be too competitive with yourself. Listen to your body, listen to what it's telling you can and can't do, and work within those boundaries. Eventually, you will be able to go lower, go deeper, and do those other things, but it will be through a process of strengthening and gaining that ability through your practice. And the last thing that I want to point out is as you watch the entire sequence of the 24 form, you're going to see stances where you're like, maybe you feel comfortable with it, maybe you're like, that just does not look like it's something I'm ever going to be able to do. That's okay, don't worry about that. As we go through and learn each section of the form, I'm going to show you variations on these movements that allow you to do it in a way that does not contradict what your body says you're allowed to do. So there's one posture called snake creeps down. That's one where you go into a really low stance and then you come back out of it. Well, there's a variation to that where you can keep your stance higher, still accomplish the same move, but do it in a safer way and a way that doesn't require as much flexibility. And after you've practiced that and you can kind of work on lowering the stance a little bit more and lowering the stance a little bit more over time, then eventually you'll be able to get into the lower stance. But you'll have a variation that you can work with that allows you to work your way towards that deeper stance in a safe way. So when you watch the sequence, if you see anything done that you go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, don't worry about it. We'll show you some variations that'll make it a lot of fun for you and a lot more easy for you to get to a point where you can do those crazier looking things.